Hey guys, today I'm sharing 5 beautiful budget-friendly home decor projects you can make using Dollar Tree photo frames. These ideas are simple, creative, and perfect for adding a personal touch to your home without spending a lot. From wall art to decorative trays, I'll walk you through each step so you can easily recreate them for your own space. My name is Nara G, and welcome to my nook. Now, let's get started with our first DIY. Before we get right into it, these are some of the frames I will be using for our DIYs, and starting with DIY number 1, where I'll be using this. In our first DIY, I will be using these mini wall art canvases that had beautiful queen portraits, like this one. I have been seeing these mini wall arts at the Dollar Tree for a while now, but it wasn't until I spotted these beautiful queen portraits on some of them that I thought to make something beautiful out of them. Just look at that. I love how they kind of look similar, but they're all different. So I will combine them with these Dollar Tree picture frames with a wooden touch. I love how these frames have this full wooden touch on them. I didn't have to do anything on that. You just have to take apart the frame like I'm currently doing. It was pretty easy to do this, and you just have to be gentle with this, of course, so you do not crack or break the frame or the mirror that is on the front side of this. So once you take apart the frames, you just set it aside and then you work on the canvases, which I'll go ahead to remove all the staple around the edge of the mini canvas. The art itself was already stunning, okay? But I wanted to give it a more polished gallery style look. So I removed each canvas from its original frame and placed it inside a slightly larger Dollar Tree frame as the one we're currently using. This layering is going to give these pieces some depth and also make them look intentional and high-end. To do this, I went ahead to straighten out the canvas. This is actually real canvas fabric, okay? Which I actually really liked, that this was not just mere paper. So I went ahead, using the frame structure, I traced out the exact size and went ahead to cut it out. Once I was done with that, I will go ahead and glue this down using my hot glue. You can also use any other stronger adhesive of your choosing. It doesn't have to be hot glue. And that's basically it. So like I had mentioned, I felt that this layering will give the pieces more depth, and it's also going to make them look more intentional and high-end than it just being on the small square, wooden square canvas, the original frame from which it came from. I'll go ahead and complete this other 2 for a total of 3 different looks that actually look similar but also different. Yet they tie in very well together. And that's it. So I kept the frames in a warm, natural tone that tied in perfectly with the gold accents in the artwork. What do you think? I would love to know what you think. Once hung together, they instantly elevated the wall, a budget-friendly way to create an art set that looks custom-made for your home. Alright guys, at the end of these 5 DIYs, I would love it if you can comment which of these were your favorite. So for the second DIY, our Dollar Tree DIY number 2, I will be creating a large-scale statement piece using 9 popular Dollar Tree frames and 2 smaller ones. If you've ever visited a Dollar Tree and walked past the picture frame aisle, you must have spotted these frames. They're the most popular ones. I've seen them at the Dollar Tree for years now. They're always available and they never run out. I will also use these 2 small mirrors, which I also grabbed from Michael's. So I removed the glass and backing so I could work with just the frames. You could keep these for a future project, or you could just discard them. That's up to you. For me, I'll be keeping them for future Dollar Tree projects, of course. Keep in mind that you're not obliged to use the exact same frame I'm currently using in this project. You could use any other frames at the Dollar Tree, okay, or from any other store of your choosing. Just any frames, okay, can work for this. Just make sure you're keeping them the same. Alright, so next I'll be arranging them in a balanced, symmetrical pattern, and then I will go ahead to glue them together into two separate wall decor designs. I'm using this tabletop to guide me, but I recommend you use a ruler to make sure that they're actually spaced out equally and they're actually well balanced. Okay. Alright, so that's 5 frames in total for this particular part, or step 1. And then I will go ahead to glue the second smallest frame at the center, while using my hot glue to do so. But then again, I strongly recommend you use a stronger adhesive like A6000 glue or Gorilla Glue for this project. Alright, I'll go ahead and complete the second one, and then the option here would be to maybe start with the center frame, just so everything holds together, and then you have a better view of how you can balance your bigger square, as opposed to how I did it the first time. Just watch as I do this. Alright guys, that's basically it. Very simple, easy peasy. The open frame look adds a modern touch that works in both minimalist and glam spaces. For extra style, you can spray paint them in gold. I already have this gold, so no need for that, or matte black, or even white, whatever works for your decor theme. And you can actually have this placed above a sofa or console table or in the bedroom. These become eye-catching focal points for just a few dollars, So yeah, you can go ahead and try this as well. So let me know what you think down below. For the third DIY, I went with a luxury inspired wall art design. So I grabbed these large frames from Dollarama. My Canadian folks will know this, but you can also get similar ones at the Dollar Tree. And the color for this particular project is actually a subscriber request, as you can see in one of the comments. So please be dropping your requests. I had done that DIY which you just saw up on the screen, and they requested for a white and gold option, but different as well. So that is why we're doing this, okay? So I'll also use these plastic decorative flowers from the dollar store, and also some mirrors which I had left over from a previous IKEA project. Some square mirrors, these square mirrors, which come in packs of 4. So this is the project. I did a whole wall of mirrors at my previous home, and the leftover mirrors we will be using for this project. So to get this moving, I will go ahead to remove the frame inserts. That will be our first step here. So since the frames are already white, I would not be spray painting this white as per our subscriber request, but you do have the option to change the color of your frames to whichever color you want, and also for it to match your home aesthetics and decor. Alright, so I will go ahead and take out the frame inserts. And next, I will be replacing these inserts with the mirrors from IKEA. So just carefully take out the frame and make sure not to, break your frame or the glass, because you will need that. So the mirrors, fortunately, are exactly the same size as the frames, which was what I was going for when I went in search for the picture frames. So I will go ahead and have that placed inside of our frame, and then I will go ahead and close that back up. Just watch as I do this. Once again, you want to be careful when you're doing this so that you do not crack or break your picture frame. So you go ahead and seal everything up. You could permanently seal this up using hot glue or a stronger adhesive, or just stick with the closing on the back of this, just so you can change things up from time to time, sometime down the road. So this is what it looks like once I had a mirror insert on. Next, I will then center the flowers for a striking 3D effect. Because these flowers do come with the hanging backing, I will go ahead to screw that out. To take off the screw and then just have the flower by itself. That way it is easy for me to actually have this glued down on our mirror. I will go ahead to use my hot glue gun to do this, but then again, I do strongly recommend use a stronger adhesive like Gorilla Glue or E6000 glue to do this, for a lasting hold, of course. Alright, let's go ahead and have that glued down on our picture frame and have it very well centered. Like I said, this gives a very good striking 3D effect. Look at that. I will go ahead and complete this for the other two picture frames. And this is our final look, guys. The mix of reflection from the mirror and the metallic tones of the flowers adds depth and brightness to the room. It's a great way to repurpose leftover materials like our IKEA mirror and still create a fresh high-end look on a small budget. What do you think? Please do let me know down in the comment section. And if you've rushed right up to this point, the keyword for today, or word of the day today, is picture frames. So please do comment picture frames in the comment section down below and show your girl some love. So this fourth DIY turns a Dollar Tree frame into a functional decorative tree. So I started with a large frame from the dollar store. And then I took out the inserts, of course, and I will go ahead to use these beautiful cabinet handles, two cabinet handles which I got from Amazon, on the opposite sides of this rectangular tray. So I use my E6000 glue for this, obviously, because for a stronger hold, and especially if these will be handles that you'll be using. I also went ahead and painted the frame in gold for an upscale finish. I also covered the center with some silver vinyl from Amazon as well, reflective vinyl, and peeled off the reflective film, just because the mirror I will be adding in at the center of this is not rectangular per se, but this kind of mimics that. So I will go ahead and put the inserts back on, and then our mirror tray, and that's about it. Very simple. This instantly transformed it into a stylish tray you can use for serving, displaying candles, or holding seasonal decor like these Christmas DIY decor items I made. So I went ahead and styled mine with these and some of my past Dollar Tree Christmas DIYs. So all of these items you see on here are DIYs I made for Christmas, and it looked perfect for the holidays. Simple, chic, and great. For our last and final DIY, I went for a boho-chic neutral look just to spice things up. So I found these 3 frames at the thrift store for $3, $1 each, though you can find similar at Dollar Tree. Even though I didn't mind the distressed gold frames on them, I will go ahead to spray paint these white for the purpose of this DIY. Also, I'll be taking out the inserts, as you can see, using a knife. You can use pliers or any other tool that you can use to take that apart. I found that these frames were pretty durable and really strong and sturdy, which I really liked. I'll be using the glasses back on, but I will not be using the original inserts. So now that we have all 4 of our frames prepped, I will go ahead to spray paint it white using my Rust-Oleum spray paint. So now these are the 4. I will be replacing the original inserts with neutral tone cardstock, and I also use some of these macrame ropes, which you can also use jutes from the Dollar Tree, and my hot glue, of course. After searching online for simple line art and boho designs, I will go ahead to sketch some of these on my cardstock using a pencil. If you're not an artist or if you do not know how to draw, I recommend you print out some of those and actually have that transferred onto your cardstock. That will be easier for you to trace. So I will go ahead to sketch out some of the designs that I found interesting online for our line art. The 4 colors I'm using for this are black, chocolate, brown, caramel, and a beige white or beige. Alright, so just watch as I go ahead to sketch out all the other designs. As you can see, these are the ones that I got, which I kind of liked, and I felt that it kind of tie in perfectly well together. So I then went ahead to trace over the lines with hot glue and carefully placed my macrame rope along the glue to create textured artwork. This technique adds dimension while keeping the art simple and calming. Just watch as I complete this. So the macrame rope I'm using for this project I actually got from Michael's. It was on sale, but the Dollar Tree also carries different kinds of jute rope and macrame ropes which you can actually use for this project. So I already had this rope in my keeping for a long time now, so I'm just going ahead to use that, else I would have grabbed one of those from the Dollar Tree, being that these projects are supposed to be Dollar Tree DIYs. But then again, I'm letting you know you could actually grab any of the ropes from the Dollar Tree and use for the purpose of this DIY. Also, although I'm using hot glue for this because it dries quickly, you could also use super glue, A6000 glue, Mod Podge, tacky glue, Gorilla Glue, whichever stronger adhesive of your choosing will work perfectly for this. But hot glue is usually my go-to, and it's pretty quick as well, so I choose to go ahead to use that. So now I'm wrapping this around my fingers to create some kind of an illusion of lashes, which I'll be using for this project. So I'll go ahead to have that glued on as well. I believe at this point you get the drift as per this DIY project. While I carry on with this, let's flash back to last week's project where I'm talking about ropes, where I used some Dollar Tree ropes to actually create some beautiful, home decor. If you haven't checked out that video yet, make sure to check it out right after this video and let me know what you think. I always like to chat with you all in the comments section, so please do drop your comments. Let me know what you'd like to see from me next, and I promise I will try to randomly pick on some of those comments and act on them. Okay, so this was one of my favorite among all 4 of these sketches. I really love the idea of this monstera leaf. I think it's a huge thing when it comes to boho decor. There's hardly any boho decor without monstera leaf, almost. So I actually did like the idea of doing this using macrame rope as opposed to just hot glue or just sketching it out, because you could actually also just do that. You could actually just trace out the drawings and just use white paint, and that's about it. But the difference here with using the rope is that it adds dimension and texture and just gives it a different look, somewhat high-end, as opposed to just, regular painting. So yeah, I will go ahead and cut off the excesses once I am done tracing them all. The last one will be these ropes, which is pretty easy. It's this one. I don't think you need some kind of training in sketching or drawing to be able to do this. But if you think you would need that, then you can go ahead and have that printed out and traced as well. Another thing here is that even though I am using only the beige or ivory macrame rope color. You could actually choose to mix up the colors here, and you could also use wool, okay, to do this. It does not have to be macrame rope. It could be jute as well, or just regular, knitting, crocheting rope as well. You could also just use that. I went ahead to cut out a circle from one of the browns and just had that placed before doing the rest of that. And we will go ahead and put our inserts back on for our final look. So first things first, we want to put our mirror inserts, and then we put on our frame, and then we go ahead to glue that on the back, only because these frames came stapled on the back, which meant I had to take it apart in order to be able to remove the inserts. So I would just go ahead to use some of those popsicle sticks to actually support the backing on here now. To hang this up, the frames already came with an area where you can actually do so you do not have to worry about that. And voila, this is our final look, guys. What do you think? Well, now that you've watched right up to this point and seen all 5 DIYs, I would love it if you can comment which of these DIYs was your absolute favorite down in the comment section below so we can chat, okay? Make sure to drop that down below. I love how this turned out, guys. And that's it. 5 beautiful and adorable home decor projects using Dollar Tree photo frames. These are great for adding style to your space without overspending, and they can be customized to match any color palette or theme. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more budget-friendly DIY home decor ideas every week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.